Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to see about the histology. Before that, we should know the level of organization of cell in the living organisms. See, we know the cells. Cells are the structural and functional unit of all the living organisms. So ஒரு செல்ல நம்ம என்ன சொல்லுவோம், the simplest unit of living organism which can reproduce independently, and that is called as a cell. And group of cells from the same origin which perform a particular function are called a tissue. So first cell, from the cell group of cells are called tissue, and the group of tissues from the same origin performing a particular function, that is called as an organ. Then the organs of different origin working coordinatedly and performing different functions are called organ systems, and all the system unitedly is called the whole human being. So cells, group of cells form tissue, and tissues, group of tissues form organ. From the organs, group of organs are called organ system, and then the whole human. In that, we are going to see about the tissues. So group of cells of same kind performing a particular function are called tissues. In human being, we have 4 basic tissues. We have, other than these also, we have some tissues, but basically we have 4 types of tissues. They are epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. So we know that nervous tissue is for transforming the impulses, conducting the impulses. And muscles collectively perform contraction of a part, and this helps in movement of the human. And connective tissue is nothing but the extracellular matrix, which is of collagen fibrin. So it gives shape and support and structure to the particular organ or the organ system. Totally, it supports the system. And epithelial tissue is the simplest tissue which covers the entire body on the outer surface and also the cavities of the hollow organs. Now, histology, we are going to study about the tissues. So histology is the study of the tissues of the body and how these tissues are arranged to constitute organs. So with the help of microscope or a tissue, see, these are the processes by which we are going to see or we are going to view through the microscope. So ஒரு tissue எடுத்துட்டு இந்த process எல்லாம் போகும். Fixation, dehydration, clearing, infiltration, embedding, then sectioning, அப்புறம் staining. Then with the help of cover slip, we'll be seeing through the slide through the electron microscope or the optical microscope. So இந்த எல்லா ப்ரொசீஜரும் முடிஞ்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் மைக்ரோஸ்கோப்போட ஹெல்ப்போட நம்ம டிஷ்யூஸை வியூ பண்றது தான் ஹிஸ்டாலஜின்னு நம்ம சொல்றோம். So how the tissues will appear when we see through the microscope. So microscopeல பார்க்கும்போது stained slides. So common stains என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா H&E stain, simply hematoxylin and eosin stain. So we know that cell. So cell nale we have an outer covering, that is the plasma membrane. Inside that we have the cytoplasm, and in the middle we have the nucleus. So idhula first the nucleus is basically when we see through the microscope, we can see 2 types of colors. One will be purple in color and the other will be pink in color. So purple color என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா that is the color of the nucleus, eosin, and the cytoplasm. Cytoplasmல இருக்க organelles எல்லாமே basic. So basic dye எடுத்துக்கும், that is the hematoxylin, that will be pink in color. So அப்போ ஒரு histology slide நம்ம வந்து view பண்றோம் அப்படின்னா we can see two colors. One will be pink in color and that refers to the cytoplasm and the membrane. And the purple color is the nucleus, which is eosin. So hematoxylin and eosin are the basic stains which we use in the histology. And there are some specific special stains also. To view a specific tissue, there is special stains for different organelles. ஒரு tissue பார்க்கணும்னா, so for example reticular fibers பார்க்கணும், collagen பார்க்கணும்னா, we have special stains to see specific parts. And coming to the types of the tissues, first we told the epithelial tissues. So these are composed of closely aggregated polyhedral cells adhering strongly to one another. That is very important. Adhering strongly to one another and to a thin layer of extracellular matrix. So in case of epithelial tissue, the extracellular matrix is very less in number. So this forms cellular sheets that line the cavities of organs and cover the body surface. So it is covering both the external structure and also the cavity, internal feature of a particular organ. And the main function of these epithelial tissues are it covers the external surface and lines the cavities and protects the surfaces. And the next thing is it is helping in absorption and secretion. Later on we can see specifically. The next tissue is the muscle tissue. As already told, these are composed of cells that optimize the universal cell property of contractility. So contraction is the main function of the muscle which helps in movement. So skeletal muscle contains, so we have three types of muscles. So skeletal muscle, smooth muscle and cardiac muscle. So skeletal muscle, see these are the skeletal muscle. So this contains bundle of very long multinucleated cells with cross striations. See this presence of cross striations helps in the conduction of information and this provides contraction, fast contraction. So skeletal muscle contains bundles of very long multinucleated cells with cross striations. Then comes the smooth muscles. This consists of fusiform cells or the spindle shaped cells which lack striations. So striations are absent in smooth muscles and have slow involuntary contractions. And these are present mainly inside the soft parts, especially in GIT or any soft parts are made up of smooth muscles, and these are involuntary, non-striated in nature, spindle-shaped fibers. And cardiac muscle, this is also having cross striations, elongated, often branched cells. These are branched cells. This is specific to these are branched cells bound to one another at structures called intercalated disc. Presence of intercalated disc is the specific unique nature of cardiac muscle, and this cardiac muscle is present only inside the heart. So intercalated disc, this is responsible for involuntary contraction and rhythmic contraction and vigorously contracting nature of the heart muscle. So three types of muscles: skeletal muscles for helping for the locomotion, and this is striated and under voluntary control, and these are smooth muscles are non-striated involuntary muscles. Cardiac muscles are branched, slight cross striations are also present. Presence of intercalated disc is the unique nature of the cardiac muscle. Then the connective tissue. See, these are the different types of the connective tissue. So when we take a particular organ, that organ is made up of Parenchyma. Parenchyma means group of epithelium performing a particular function, and this is an example of a gland. A section of gland has been shown here, and see, these are the parenchyma which is going to perform the function, that may be absorption or secretion. Then these parenchymal structures or the epithelia should be bound together and supported, and they should get a particular structure or a framework that is done by the stroma or the extracellular matrix, which gives the support and structural framework of a particular organ. That is done by this connective tissue. And this connective tissue is characterized by cells which are producing very abundant extracellular matrix, and that is particularly called as stroma, the cells of which having a supporting role in the organ. Except in the brain and the spinal cord, the stroma is always connective tissue. And see, these are different types of the connective tissue. The connective tissue proper, in which the matrix is soft and less rigid, and this is again divided into loose connective tissue and dense connective tissue. Based on the package of the fibers, loose connective tissue is again divided into areolar tissue and adipose tissue. The dense connective tissue, which is making the tendons and ligaments of the muscles, are dense connective tissue. And connective tissue which is helping for support. So in which the matrix is solid to semi-solid or rigid. So examples are bones and the cartilages. And we have one more type, fluid connective tissue, in which the matrix is in the form of fluid called the plasma, which comprises blood and the lymph. So these are the three main categories of the connective tissues. So mainly connective tissue is for support and for the structural framework of a particular tissue. Nerve tissue. So nerve tissue, we know this is for conducting the impulses, giving the signals to particular organ. So this is composed of two types of cells, neurons and the glial cells. See, these are the cells of the central nervous system. We know the parts of the neuron. So it is centrally placed nucleus with the cytoplasm, and this will have some extensions. So some input channels or afferents are called dendrites, and one single output channel will be present commonly, and that is called an axon. These are the main receiving signal units, and it will give impulse to the particular organ. So neurons. And it is also having some supporting cells. Those are called as glial cells. And in the central nervous system, these supporting cells are named as astrocytes. See, these are the astrocytes, oligodendrocytes, microglia, and ependymal cells, which produce the cerebrospinal fluid inside the brain. And in the peripheral nervous system, the supporting cells are Schwann cells and the satellite cells. What is the function of neuron? Neurons are electrically active and release chemical signals to target cells. Glial cells, commonly called glia, these are known to play a supporting role for the nervous tissue.